Welcome back to The American Dream. In season 2, one of the things that's so exciting about this is we're not just talking about businesses anymore. We're diving into the personal stories of the business owners, the personal aspect of growth, ambition, and really whatever this American Dream thing is that we all keep talking about is what I love about it.
And I think that's my favorite part. Being able to help host these segments, you get to find out who people really are. And I think having the shift now, being out here in the real world where it actually happens, you get to dive into people's story just a little bit more, see where their passion comes from, see what they do every single day. It makes sense. Why didn't we do this earlier?
It's a good question.
We do it in the spirit of going against the grain of the negative media, giving inspiring information, and having people walk away from our show with something of value.
You're seeing a disruption in both the real estate and the mortgage space.
A lot of people are just not willing to put in the work.
What video does is that it demands an emotional response.
You know what I love about this show? It's totally unscripted. One of the things about a company like ours is, as we're showcasing the American Dream, we're also learning about the company itself, right?
Absolutely.
So I think listening and learning is what really makes entrepreneurship and companies better.
Yeah. And then it catches like wildfire. So who knows who they're going to inspire next. And it's just, that's what entrepreneurship is all about.
Absolutely. Being in 23 cities with New York City right now is such a huge accomplishment. And we're going to film today's show at Bootlegger is great because Errol, the founder himself, actually came from very small beginnings and became something really impressive. I cannot wait to meet him.
Yeah, well, I'm excited. Let's go meet him.
All right, let's do it.
Hi there.
So nice to meet you.
Absolutely.
Oh, congratulations, brother.
Thank you so much, and welcome to Bootlegger.
Thank you. I mean, we just talked a little on the way here, but congratulations on your success.
Thank you so much. Well, I wish I could take it all, but we have a great team here, so.
Tell us about this establishment. Like, what was the idea? You call it Bootlegger, you had it on this corner. I mean, what was the concept?
Well, the great thing about Bootlegger, it's just a culmination of a lot of things.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you knew this, but there was 2 other businesses, bar restaurants that were here prior to us, but we just hit it really well. My partners, all coming from the bar industry, really wanted to do our own thing, and we just happened upon this and really brought something special to this corner of the neighborhood, and we're just been excited to have it.
Very excited about today's power interview. Coming from the Robbins family, a name that everybody knows, Jairek Robbins with Jairek Robbins Companies is a performance coach. Going to talk to you a little bit about his story, but also empowering your American dream. Jairek, thanks for coming on the show, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. Nice to see you all.
Yeah, you got a hell of a story. So you had less than a week left to live while you were doing charity work. Real quick, tell us that story.
So I was working teaching organic farming in a village over in Uganda, and I got malaria twice. There was no running water, no toilets, no electricity, just rural farming village. And we were teaching them how to retill the land that had been poisoned by some illegal pesticides that were sold to the local farmers there. And so in the work, malaria was rampant. And so I got malaria. And I remember sitting down at 20 years old thinking, A, that was not the plan. That was never what we wanted to accomplish. And then B, the concept of what am I going to do? Like, I can't get home to see my family. My bucket list seemed to now fade away because how am I going to buy a house, start a business, finish school, and do all the things I wanted to do? And then what it really came down to, if I was going to have any chance at having some type of dream life in that moment, I had to redesign what my daily life was going to look like for these next 6 days to figure out how to make it a life that I lived fully, I loved deeply, and hopefully I did something that mattered far beyond my physical presence here on this planet. And so that became the goal. I called it, designing my ideal day, which was how would you design the type of day where if you died at the end of that day, you would high-five yourself on the way out and feel damn proud that you did it.
Well, pretty incredible story. What I love about what you're doing now is, we see online there's a lot of coaches and life coaches. You're niched in a unique way where you're a performance coach. So you work with entrepreneurs, business owners who already have their act together, but you're actually enhancing their performance. Explain what that means to you.
So it's really simple. We look at people who, like you said, they have their act together, they're doing good, but deep down inside, they know they could be doing better. And so we look at them and we look at them from a human standpoint and say, how's your sleep? You know, the sweet spot for sleep is 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep per night. If you're getting less than 5, after 2 days, you're considered cognitively the equivalent of being drunk in the way you psychologically make decisions and perform. So 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep. And is it high quality sleep? Are you getting high REM sleep, which allows your glial cells to cleanse your brain and get the neurotoxins out? Are you getting deep sleep, which replenishes your body and makes you stronger and more capable and replenishes you for the next day? So we use a meditation device. It's a medical grade EEG scan of their brain every morning. I have a dashboard that I can see how well they're able to calm and clear their brainwaves every morning. So we know that they're able to stay aware of the chaos, yet totally focused on the task at hand. And if you can't do it for 10 minutes in the morning, I guarantee you can't do it throughout the day.
So what's fascinating about this, Jarek, is you're not just speaking on stage and giving rah-rah around, you need to eat right, be healthy. You're actually measuring these things, and like a athlete, you're measuring performance and looking at the analytical things on this.
Exactly. We're tracking the data, and we're looking at metrics, and we're looking for what's real. My thought is I consider every one of our clients or people we work with as a performance athlete, just like an Olympic athlete. If you were to show up at Olympic training camp, the first thing we need to figure out is how fast can you actually run if running is your sport.
Sure.
So we put you on the track and we measure you. We figure out what your sleep looks like, nutrition, mindfulness. The one I didn't get to, which is interesting, is even your breath pattern all day. There's a little device that goes on your belt, tracks your breathing pattern, and it tells us when you're calm, when you're focused, and when you're tense. Now, people like to take pride. I've had entrepreneurs and investors and hedge fund managers go, oh, I'd probably break the thing. I'm so stressed. But here's what's wild. If you think of the 3 worst business decisions you've ever made and how much money you've lost, I guarantee it was from a place of being stressed and not calm or focused. And if I could prevent you from losing that amount of money just by helping you notice you're stressed and getting you to breathe and get back to focus, boom. It's amazing what it does for people.
Jarek, thanks so much for coming on the show. You got an incredible journey. I know the best is still to come with you. Thank you for sharing it on our show here today. We'll have you on again soon. Appreciate it, man.
Of course. Thank you.
All right. What better illustration of the American dream than Jarek Robbins? What a great story. All right, more of the show coming up next.
Wow, they're killing it in the market. Speaking of killing it, how you doing here?
Food Letter's crushing it.
Right?
Yeah.
So I've been staring at this bell all day. What's up with the bell?
So funny story is when we first opened, as you can tell, there's a fire truck going here almost every 5 minutes. We wanted to do something with that. And at the same time, this new spirit came on board, called Fireball. I'm sure you've heard of it.
I love Fireball.
Yeah. So every time the fire truck comes around, we do this. $4 shots of Fireball, and the place goes nuts.
Hey Gabby, I'm Marquette with Homesville Real Estate. Thanks for meeting with me today.
Thank you so much for coming in.
So those of you that don't know, Gabby is the lead project manager and designer at Clay Imports, and we're super excited to be here today. Clay Imports provides this just beautiful custom handmade tile that you source from all over the world, and it really gives people an opportunity to have a bespoke sort of distinctive touch to their home, I think.
Absolutely.
Do you mind showing us some of the pieces?
So this is one of my personal favorites. We have the zipper, interlocking shape, fun pattern, nice way to bring in color. Simple, but still, a statement piece. The stone textile line is incredible. Elizabeth Mullen designed this entire series off of her fabrics and wallpapers, and we've turned it into a tile line.
Wow.
Brand new, just being launched this month.
It'd be really helpful, I think, for our real estate clients to learn a little bit more about the process. Do you have some time to chat about that?
Yeah, of course.
Let's face it, decorative tile is totally having a moment in interior design, right?
Yeah, thank God it's making a comeback.
Yes, it is, in a big way, because I was really wanting to visit with you about how Clay Imports can help them add that special touch to their house.
It's so nice to be able to get away from the subway tile and actually bring in color and design and just that element into any space, whether it's a bathroom, a kitchen, or even a porch. I mean, you can just add tile and it's amazing what it can do.
Well, and all of this stuff is handmade. Where do you source all this beautiful tile from?
Everything that we have is imported from Mexico, Morocco, Turkey, and Vietnam. All handmade, responsibly sourced. We're very big on the fabricators that actually make our tile and how this material is being produced.
If someone walked in and they said, hey, I've got this house that I've just bought, I want to, add a special touch to it, what would the process be like working with you?
We really go about it a lot of different ways. One of the most basic ways is someone will come in, bring their plans, and say, hey, like, this is an inspiration of what I'm kind of wanting to do. We'll feel it out. Start from the drawing board, pick out 5 to 10 maybe different tiles and ideas, and narrow it down from there. And we have an amazing graphic designer who can actually make a rendering of what your tile would look like in that space. Other times when people come in and totally blank slate, and they will center everything else around that tile.
What's that process timeline look like? Like, how long does the design process take?
It can be anywhere from a day where someone will come in, we'll pick everything out that exact same day, to a year-long process where we'll pick everything out room by room, space by space. We're all over the board with that.
If someone was going to choose a handmade tile, just in the production of the tile itself, I mean, what's the turnaround time on a bespoke piece like that? And do you even carry anything in stock? Like, what are the choices?
We have a lot of material here in stock, so it's always a good option that if you need something right away, we will have something here for you. If you want to go the complete custom route, that's always an option as well. We're looking at a 10 to 12 week lead time, worst case scenario.
Well, you were visiting with me a little bit earlier about a custom project that you're working on now. Tell us about that one.
So we have a customer, her grandfather was from Cuba, immigrated to the United States, didn't bring much with him, no pictures, just whatever he could fit in a suitcase. And she actually had cousins and family members that had scanned these pictures and sent them to her. And looking back, she found this amazing cement tile that was on a patio in that home. She approached us with the pictures, and we made a custom mold for her, and we produced that cement tile, and it is going to be installed on her sun porch.
Such a special way of taking that piece of family history and modernizing it and bringing it from Cuba and giving her that family connection.
I mean, it's really special when we are able to incorporate that into someone's home, bringing that piece of the family into it, your roots, you know?
Well, you mentioned cement tile. For those of us that are tile novices, what are the different kinds of tile that you carry, and what does someone need to know when they're making a tile decision?
We have our very, very traditional Saltillo tile, which we have also expanded, and we began to glaze it and fire it. So it's going to be a more durable, somewhat of a more modern take on the traditional Saltillo. Then we have our clay tile, which is going to be the very clean, straight lines, subways, decorative patterns, but we also have our Talavera with that. And then cement is going to be, it's a different process. It's a water-cured tile. The way a cement tile patinas over time is just beautiful.
You've been working here for how many years now?
3.
Okay, I have to ask because I'm like, I want to take everything home with me as I look around the studio. Do you have a favorite tile?
So I have taken some of my ideas and I've put them on tiles. I love the interlocking shapes and patterns and being able to apply a solid color, but breaking it up with a pattern. So the zipper is definitely my favorite. Clean lines, but something fun.
And that's one of your designs.
It is.
You're not going to find that anywhere else but here at Clay Imports.
That's right.
Now that's bespoke, you guys. Thanks for joining us today. Now back to you in the studio.
Segment.
Yeah, that was.
But you know what's even more awesome?
What's that?
Tom Cruise and Cocktail.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I got a little Tom Cruise in me.
Well, let's see what you got, Tom.
Okay.
Oh, that was actually awesome.
One of the amazing things about the American Dream Show is we have an opportunity to showcase business entrepreneurs and not just talk about their companies and why they're successful. We talk about the ingredients that went into their success, kind of their storylines. And before we kick to this segment, you showed me how to make your signature drink, right, which is
the Broken Butterfly.
The Broken Butterfly. And I thought it was so appropriate because a drink like this takes a lot of simple ingredients to make an amazing thing, just like a company or a great story. So I'm going to try to recreate this drink right now while Errol tells us how he went from barback to tech entrepreneur in 10 years.
Yeah. Started off as a barback way back in Maryland before I moved out here, and I used working in the industry just to get me from A to B, pay my way through college.
Yep.
Through all that, I really learned what I really enjoyed in life. I mean, I did try different things. You know, I graduated in finance, worked in the finance world, even my hand in the real estate. I worked as an LO for a couple years, in 02 to 07. But through those different changes, through the markets and everything like that, I always came back here. Yeah. And fast forward to about 2009, when even though the market was not as great as it should be, the hospitality industry was thriving.
Sure.
So a lot of downtown venues that you'd see, I actually had my hand in helping open. So my first Sidebar was one of the smaller clubs, and then Stingaree was the larger one. Yeah. And so that story kind of followed me a long way through it, just all the connections and contacts, and kind of how we started Bootlegger through all my friends that worked in the industry. But through all that, I noticed one thing that was always a consistent problem. I was getting about, at the time, 20 to 30 phone calls, emails, texts a day from friends, even fellow business owners in the industry, to finding a job. I never saw anything for like
I'm
a bartender.
I'm going for the booze right now.
Go
Is
in.
that okay?
Yeah, go in right
going.
there. You're doing great, by the way.
Yeah.
This is the longest drink ever, but we love it.
I'm listening and making. Could you imagine if you were a bar patron?
Yeah.
You would walk right out the door.
Well, this is what we do every day.
Yes, much faster.
Yeah, exactly.
So talk me through it.
Yeah, so in about 2014, I was opening up a nightclub called 80 Nightclub, which is no longer there, which is the ups and downs of all businesses.
Sure, yeah. Failure is important in success.
Right? Yeah, I learned a lot. We had about 1,000 applicants come in, and my partners and I at the time, it took us forever just to find our core people.
Sure.
And so with that, we were trying to dialing in the sketch of what industry was going to be, and that's where I found my business partners.
I'm stoked.
Yeah. So let's get this drink
So
going.
this is moment of truth.
Yes.
Do I flip this over?
You're flipping it over.
Okay, I'm flipping it over.
And this is where you get to be Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise? Yeah, exactly. Do I look like Tom Cruise?
100%.
You know what? Here's the thing. I don't look like Tom Cruise, but I am taller, and I think about that when I compare myself to Tom Cruise.
I'll be honest.
I'm taller.
One of the reasons why I wanted a bartender is cocktail.
It's cocktail, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so
But see, I didn't want to be at TGI Fridays in Manhattan. I wanted to be down in Bermuda.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, meeting girls wearing like flowy white stuff, on vacay.
Yeah.
So what do I do? Okay, so I
That's a
grab
strainer.
this.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then pour it.
Yep. Strain it out.
So will you try this and tell me if I did it right?
Okay. Well. That's definitely something else, but it looks pretty. It's the right color.
Oh, that's such a bartendery thing.
Oh yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah.
I want to do the bartendery thing.
Yeah. See,
All right.
that's tasting it. So you're not putting your thing in there. That's how you taste
That's
it.
not that bad.
No, great
That's
job.
not that bad. Thank
There
you.
go.
And one of the cool things about the American Dream is everybody has their own interpretations of it. While we're at your bar, you have all these great patrons here. I thought it'd be fun. Why don't we ask these patrons what their version of the American Dream is?
Hi guys.
Hey, how you doing? So, you volunteered. What's your version of the American Dream?
I think my version of the American Dream is being able to pick your passion and being able to follow it until you make something that you've created in your head for so long come to fruition.
What's your interpretation of the American Dream?
You know, I believe if you have a dream, you go for it, you achieve it, and you kind of put it out there. You gotta put yourself out there. That's pretty much it.
Live and laugh with friends and people that you meet each and every day.
Being able to start from nothing and make something out of it, right? You're not stuck in any kind of box.
To laugh as much as you want.
Profound. Cheers. Thank you all so much for being involved.
So there you have it. Those are so many different versions of the American Dream. Right now, we're going to showcase one of the best brokers in your market. Check it out.
Welcome back to the American Dream as we now focus in on your local Austin market. My next guest is Monica Fabio. She is a luxury specialist with Cooper Sotheby's International Realty. Monica, thank you so much for being back on the show. Always great to have you on.
Always great to be here. Thank you.
So today we're talking really about Austin fun, and we have so many different fun festivals and things that are coming up in the area. But first, I want to talk to you a little bit about football. I know you recently had a great football weekend down there in Austin. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yes, we did. Hook 'em horns. A lot of great schools in Texas, but my alma mater. It just was a really exciting week when we beat USC. This is Coach Herman's second year, and we're just all hoping that the tide has changed. But the emotion in the stadium and all the excitement is, it's our pro football team here in Austin. So Dicker, the kicker, Lake Travis High School freshman, he had two 46-yard field goals. It was a really great game.
That sounds amazing. And the fact that you beat USC, congratulations there. Now, Let's talk about next month. October is really festival season for you in Austin. Tell me a little bit about what's going on there.
Wow, well, hold on to your saddles, Austin and everybody, because this is my favorite month of the year. So much going on in Austin. The first thing coming up is what I think most people have heard of ACL, Austin City Limits Music Festival. It's one of the things that's given Austin the live music capital of the world name. It goes on for 2 weekends now. It's October 5th through the 7th, and then October 12th through the 14th. It's about 8 stages with 125 plus acts. This year, some of the headliners, well, let me just go through all 125. No, I'm kidding. I don't even know if I can remember all the headliners, but some of them are Paul McCartney, ODESZA, Travis Scott, Metallica.
I think there's Childish Gambino's there. I mean, you go on the website and the lineup is incredible.
Oh yeah, it is. It's a huge event. A lot of things going on around. It's held at Zilker Park, which is basically downtown Austin. If you're planning on driving around downtown Austin those weekends, do look for where they'll be diverting traffic, because you just don't want to get in that traffic. So many after concert events. It's an international festival, so you have to come and experience that sometime if you haven't already.
So besides Austin City Limits, Austin also hosts the F1 US Grand Prix. Tell me a little bit about this, and you also have some big names playing there as well.
Yes, so that takes place October 19th through the 21st. This is the 7th year that we've been here at the COTA track, the Circuit of the Americas. It's a really fun event with all kinds of parties going on, not just at the track, but before and after the race itself. And the first time I went, it's just like, it's done. But there's just so much going on around that. Of course, international people coming in. We have the 360 Amphitheater, which is the largest, it's a permanent outdoor theater in Central Texas. And this year they've got Britney Spears and Bruno Mars playing. There's like a 250-foot observation tower there, and this track has brought about $1 billion worth of economic thrust into the market, for tourism and so forth. So it's a big deal here in Austin.
Absolutely incredible. Well, Austin, as we all know, is just absolutely exploded. So if someone is looking to move into the area, or just moving in general within the Austin city limits, I should say, you have a beautiful listing. Tell me a little bit about this property.
This is a really nice home. It's about 50 to 22 square feet, 5 to 6 bedrooms. It was built in 1970, but there's not a single thing in there that's not been, for the most part, I shouldn't say not a single thing, but almost everything has been replaced in the last 5 years. It's in a great school district, and the pride of ownership is, you have to see the master closet. It's as big as a whole bedroom, and double-headed shower, fire pit, hot tub, swimming pool. I think about 5 patios and courtyards, and then a huge game room. It's a 2-story with a loft that they've made a little casino room. But it's a great home, and it's got a pond in the courtyard. So check it out. It's $998,000. Beautiful.
Under $1 million. And Monica, before I let you go, I know that this is your favorite time of year and your excitement is absolutely contagious. So have a great time there in Austin, and we'll check in with you soon, okay?
All right, hook 'em horns.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be right back with more of The American Dream.
Well, that was a really inspiring show. I think one of the cool things about this new season is the American Dream is going out in the field, and we're checking out business owners as they're doing some unbelievable things. Bootlegger here in California was a great place to have this show hosted. Tawny, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part was honestly meeting Ariel. I've been here so many times and just have no idea about the history behind it. It's just been coming and having great drinks and food, but to be able to know where he came from, and he never stopped, and he's still growing.
Yeah. And the drink?
And the drink and the broken butterfly is amazing. So yeah, I'm excited for it all.
Yeah, that's the fun part about this business, right? Is you have alcohol. I don't think you can do that in real estate.
Without it, where would you be?
A cause of and solution to all problems. Maybe not in business, but thank you everybody for tuning in. Tawny and I had a great time at Bootlegger here in California. Thank you to Errol, and catch you next episode.